Hi guys, and welcome back to my travel corner, and today you join me in Rotherham for another battle of the buses, where I take a number of buses between two specific locations, and then I'll be able to work out which one is my favourite of them. Now, I thought originally that this was going to be a battle of three buses, X1, X2, X3. The X1 is due in 6 minutes. And I just thought I'd quickly hop on just to give you a bit of an update on that straight away, because it won't be a battle of three buses, it will actually be a battle of four buses. Four buses because we've got the X6 as well, and that runs between here and Sheffield. Now, I've never been on the X6 before, so I think in this case that this video would be the perfect opportunity for me to do that. And it'll most likely be just one of those where I get to work out which of the four would be my favourite. So, as I mentioned earlier, we've got an X1 due shortly. The X2 comes to this stop as well, and believe it or not, so does this X6 that we're looking at. Now, it's not too bad. I mean, I say it's not too bad, but it's only, with the X6, there's only 5 of them a day, and the one that I'm after is they're 4 hours apart, but at least I've got another 3 buses to look at before I get the X6. So I think then with that the X6 would be the last one that I get from either here or from Sheffield. It'll be from Sheffield. But join me back in a bit, and I will take you around the area on the X1, and we'll make our way into Sheffield for the first time this video. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at the back of the X1, and we're just making our way into Sheffield for the first time. One thing I noticed, just as I was boarding the bus, I saw the X3, and I also noted that it was on diversion, so I wonder what's going on with the X3. I'm thinking about that at the moment, but of course when the time comes, because I'll be getting that bus today, in today's video as well, so that will give me time then to work out where it's getting diverted. I have a suspicion it's going to be between here and Sheffield, hence why it then said on diversion when it said Sheffield. But with that in mind, it's just that they definitely need to take that sort of stuff into account. But yeah, I still wonder where that bus is getting diverted. Now, we're going up this way this time. That's interesting. Normally that's an alighting bus stop. I called there when I got off, but I didn't get off there, but I was on the 216 as well. But apart from that, this is where the battle of the buses begins, and we get to work out which is my favourite of them. Another thing I wanted to point out as well, which I am going to do, is I'm going to do some railway videos. I'm just passing over Rotherham Central, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about at this point. But the one thing I do want to mention, and I will mention it again in another video, is that I've noticed that there are 2 disused stations between Meadowhall and Sheffield, and I want to look in deeper detail about those 2, and then that way I have an idea as to what they were. But I've seen some platforms. They might open up the stations again, I hope they do, Speaking of which, we had Cambridge South recently opened up, so we'll look at that later on down the line. Take Adam for the ride as well. But join me back in a bit and I will make my way into Sheffield, but I'll probably do something else on this bus as well. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me as I'm making my way out of Meadowhall. Now, I'm just going to point out that this will be my halfway journey on the first of the 3 X buses, this one, the X2 and the X3. Now, I don't know what is to be expected of the X6 because, as I mentioned, I've never been on it before, and I've also mentioned that there's 4 hours between the 2 buses, so I've missed one at 25 to 10 and the next one's not, well, it wouldn't have been until, well, I missed the first one, yeah, it was 25 to 10, so the next one after that's not until about 25 to 2. But I will have a look when we get into Sheffield. That's the main bus station of Sheffield, and then I'll be able to work out when that is. But so far I have really enjoyed my journey on the X1, and it's just been beautiful. I mean, I can see a river to my left hand side. That would have been the start of the River Don. That's in Rotherham, but I think that might be the River Don. It starts at Doncaster. Well, at least I think it does. I think the name would have given it away. But I don't often come up to Yorkshire. I only really come up to see my mum. She wants to come on a bus journey with me as well. The thing is with that, if I ever embark on a battle of the buses, not only would my mum be on one of the buses, she'll be on all of them, and I wonder how she'll fare with that. That's a different matter altogether, but we can only wait and see. But join me back in a bit and I will see you at the main bus station in Sheffield. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me in Sheffield, and after a long-winded approach and me getting lost on the way here, I was finally able to make it to the buses, to the bus stop that I needed. So I'm just having a look because I had a bit of a panic because I'm trying to work out, so that's not what I was after. I'm looking for the X1. I've been on the X1. We're looking at the X3 and the X2, and I wonder if the X6 comes down this way. Now, I was hoping to do more buses, cover more of these X buses in this battle of the buses, but I then realised the X17 doesn't go to the X17 doesn't go to Rotherham, and none of the others go to Barnsley, but we're going between Sheffield and Rotherham, and that would then allow me to then look at all of those. And I'm just now waiting, I'm just trying to work out where I'm to board for the next bus. And believe me, it's going to be a lot easier said than done. Because, well, as you all know by now, nothing's ever simple on Daren's Corner. Right, that's the 137, that's not what I'm after. They do go to Rotherham. We're looking for X buses at this point. And we want to have a look. What's going on? X17, they don't go to Barnsley. They do go to Barnsley, they don't go to Rotherham. Let's move on. I'm getting confused. X3. I think I might have to get this one next Wednesday, next one's in 16 minutes. Well, in that case, then I'll just get the X3 and go back to Rotherham that way. Well, I'll see you in a bit, and I will be on the back of the X3. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the front of the X3, and it's with much of a discovery I've had while I've been around here in Sheffield interchange, and there's been loads. So first off, I just wanted to point out that, well, the X17 comes here that goes to Barnsley. Now this would explain as to why I couldn't have it as a battle of 5 buses, because the X17 doesn't go to Rotherham, and that's what this video is all about. But then also none of the other buses, the ones that are featured in today's video, none of those go to Barnsley. But also, while I was looking around the different places, I also came across an X5, an X7, 11, the X11 and the X17. Right, the X17 I've already been on, but I've come across the X5, 7 and the 11, which I haven't been on any of those. So this gives me the perfect opportunity to then announce the extended battle of the X buses. This battle runs between Sheffield and Rotherham. But the extended battle of the X buses extend out to Doncaster, Barnsley, and as far as Chesterfield for some, and I'm looking forward to doing that one as well. Of course, I'm going to have to do some research before I even think about that, but you will get to see those in action as well. It's going to be an interesting one. So I'm making my way back to Rotherham. Now, I mentioned earlier that this bus is currently on diversion, so then we get to see what that is. Also, we'll have a look at other bits as well. Oh, we've lost a poundland here in Sheffield. That's a shame. But it says, don't worry, we're not far. It says another poundland a bit further on. But drop me back in a bit, and I'll take you around another bit of Meadowhall. I'll keep you updated when I get back into Meadowhall. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back. You've just joined me as we're leaving Meadowhall interchange for the second time in this video. Now, we're just making our way back to Rotherham, and thank you, Amy. She's sort of completed my sentence for me. That always happens. But what I do plan to do is do that extended battle of the buses, but obviously I need to plan everything first before I can even think about doing that. But hopefully everything will be sort of in the plans and all sorted for next week. So I'm just going to go around here and just so slowly make our way back up to Rotherham. Now we're just coming up to 12 o'clock, so I've still got about an hour and a half yet until that X6. Now, I don't think it's going to take that long, and I think if I've got enough time left over, and you may see me on the Black Route tram train service to go back to the interchange, or go back to the Rotherham Central, and then I can get off there and then go down to the interchange that way. Hopefully I can do all this by preferably 1:30, 20 past 1:30, and then that way not only does it give me enough time to then get the X6, but also it will then allow me to then do a bit before I get on the X6. But I've enjoyed myself so far, and I've still got 2 more buses left to get in this battle of the X buses. But join me back in a bit, and I will see you at Rotherham interchange. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me as we come back out of Rotherham interchange, and in this case it's off one bus straight onto the other. So I'm now in the middle of the X2, making my way back into Sheffield now. I'll be coming off at Morpeth, and there'll be a slight twist to the tail. So I was looking at the X6, and they are 5 a day, and they're every 4 hours. So if I miss this one at 20 to 2, I've been waiting until 20 to 6 for another one. So yeah, I don't really want to miss it. But also it depends on what time I get into, well, by the time I get back into Sheffield. But what I do plan is, what I have got planned is I'm going to nip on the tram, the black tram, the tram train service, which is kind of black on the map, hence why I've been calling it that, and that'll bring me back here to Rotherham, and hopefully we'll do so in enough time for me to get the X6, because I don't really want to have to wait 4 hours for a bus. Yeah, that's not me. But in the worst case scenario, I have got other things I can do in those 4 hours. I'll get some extra bits there, just a bit, do some extra bits, or I can quickly nip back to my mum's and then go back out and do the same, go back out and then do the X6 that way. But as I say, I'm on the X2 now, making my way back into Sheffield, and join me back in a bit, and I will see you back in Meadowhall. See you in a bit, guys. And I'll try not to block the camera at the same time. Welcome back. You just joined me in the middle of the X2, and the one thing that I've just found out a while ago was that the X1 and the X2 when going between Rotherham and Sheffield, go in exactly the same route as each other, and that further proves it because I've just seen the X1. So these 2 buses, this one and the X1, go in exactly the same route as each other, and I feel like I've wasted time by getting the X2, but there we are. So what this does to my verdict, well, if I take the X1 into account, I'll have to do the same with the X2 as well, because they pair up together. They're practically twins. And what makes it even more interesting is the fact that they're both managed by the same company as well. but I just thought I'd quickly hop on and explain as to what's been going on, especially since I found that bit of information. But we're now 12:30 and we are 17 minutes away from the X6, which is the only stop I've got. It's the only bus I've got left to get, and then we'll be able to do other bits as well. But just in a slight twist of events in this video, when we get into Sheffield, because this goes to Morford, which is exactly the same as what the X1 does, we then will go over and get a tram back to Rotherham. But the one thing I do need to be careful about is those trams are every half an hour, so I do want to make sure that I get there in enough time to get the X6. Otherwise I'm going to be waiting 4 hours for another bus. That's of course if I don't run out of ideas of what to do while I'm there. But join me back in a bit and I will be back in Sheffield just as I make my way to the tram. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, and you've just joined me outside Sheffield Cathedral, and this is where the twist in the tale lies. Or should I say, this is where the twist in my video lies, and that is the sense of I'm going to get a tram back to Rotherham, and then hopefully I'll get back into the interchange in enough time to be able to get the X6, which is the last of the four. That's the last of the 4X buses in this video, but I will extend it out in another one, include the 4 that I've done today, and include the new ones, because you've got other ones that stretch out to somewhere like Barnes, so that the extended one will extend out to Barnsley, Doncaster and Chesterfield, Matlock, those sort of places. And I'm looking forward to that. I just hope that this one will give you a good enough taste, in the sense of it will allow you then just to get an idea as to what the extended one's going to do. But of course I need to write everything down first before I can even think about making that video, because I want to make sure that I've got enough time to do this. I should be able to. I mean, it's just gone 10 to 1. I've got a tram in about 8 minutes, 8ish sort of minutes, because I need the black one. I shall show you that behind me as well. We've got blue routes going to Halfway, we've got purple routes going to Herdings Park, we've got the yellow route going to Meadowhall, and then we've got the black route going to Parkgate. The black route is the one that I'm interested in. But join me back in a bit and I will be on the black route tram going to Parkgate. Well, say Parkgate, but mainly Rotherham Central. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the back of the black tram train service going back to...
This is the tram train service to Parkgate. The next stop by request will be Hyde Park.
Going back to Parkgate, but hopefully I'll have enough time after I come off at Rotherham Central to then nip across back to the interchange and then get the X6 that comes back here. We shall soon find out, because I don't know whether or not the X6 goes to Meadowhall, because I've never been on that bus before. But it goes without saying, because there's only 5 of them a day and they're 4 hours apart. And as you all know by now, I don't particularly like the idea of having to wait 4 hours for a bus. So we're just coming up to Hyde Park, and this is going to be one of those where a Battle of the Buses videos will include a tram or any other form of transport. Well, if I didn't get this tram, I wouldn't have got the X6 in time. We shall see where I go from there. But join me back in a bit before I get interrupted again, and I will see you back at the interchange at Rotherham. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back at Rotherham interchange, and I'm at the bus stop waiting for the X6. So I managed to get here in enough time because the tram had skipped over a few stops, because again, apart from Parkgate itself, all the other stops are made only by request, and some people didn't get off. So quite a few of them were just skipped over. I can definitely think of at least 2 where that was the case. And oh, hello. This is what I was talking about, the X6. So this service provides connections to the new Welcome Break Rotherham services and Sheffield City Centre. So I get to see what this does, and I'm very excited to try it out. Bearing in mind, so the first one's at 20 to 6 in the morning, then the one after that is 20 to 10, 20 to 2, that's the one I'm going to be getting, 25 to 6, and then 20 to 10, so yeah, that's the 5. They really are 4 hours apart. Yeah, I don't particularly like the idea of having to wait 4 hours for a bus, but I am very excited to be trying out the X6 for the first time. But join me back in a bit, and I'll be at the back of that bus or the front, whichever way we look at it, and I will make my way back into Sheffield. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the back of the X6, making way into Sheffield for the 3rd time in this case, because it would have been the 3rd time that I've been to Sheffield in this video, because I would have done something on the way back, but I wouldn't have known where this bus was called at in Sheffield, and I then ultimately decided to get a tram back here and then get the X6 from here back to Sheffield. But I've been on the tram loads of times, and I think like I love the prospects of the trams and the buses around this area. It's more than what I thought of. I definitely have the idea of another couple of Battle of the Buses, and I'm going to also do an extended Battle of the X buses, where I extend my search out to Doncaster and Chesterfield, because that'd be a good one, because there's some other buses, there are some other X buses that I've come across, and we want to look at those as well. Now, the one thing that I've found out as well is that this bus does not call at Meadowhall, rather it goes along the motorway, specifically the M1, and it stops outside the service station, which is all being well because it speeds the journey up. And the X1 and the X2, they're going exactly the same way as each other, but there's a main difference. The X1 goes to Moppy because they go the same way as each other between Rotherham and Sheffield. The have to then take the whole route into account, and which is what we're going to do here. The X1 runs to Maltby, as I just said earlier, and some of the X2s do the same as well, but also the other X2s then continue on to Doncaster. Now I'm trying to work out which is further out of Maltby and Doncaster. That's to be saved for another video entirely. That will be when I do the extended battle of the X buses. But join me back in a bit as I take you along the motorway and we end up at the service station there. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me again on the back of the X6, and I've just got to point out that I've been on many buses that have gone along the motorway, 700, 37R2 to count, along with the X4 and the X5 that we get down in my local area of Portsmouth. But this is actually the first bus that I've been on that then stopped at a service station. And yes, it looks like a KFC. I don't know what is in there. You've got a double station as well, which is nice. But I think in this case, it comes to show as to the least frequent buses come along here on the way to Sheffield, with the least frequent of these small buses. And I would typically say I do the least frequent buses first, but then I just missed one, and I was just lucky enough then I had 4 hours to kill along that line. So I was able to do everything that I needed to and still be able to get the X6. Because I don't particularly like the idea of having to wait 4 hours for a bus. And I've said that before, and as I say it again, but here we are. I've also noticed there's some Tesla points as well for electric cars, electric vehicle charging. This is incredible though, what I've come across on this journey. And I just want to point out also that this will play a major role in my verdict as to which bus is my favourite. But I will give you a heads up at the same time that I'm going to completely discard the X1 and the X2 because they just go in the same way as each other. I've effectively wasted time by getting the X2, but there we are. But join me back in a bit as I get into Sheffield, and then that's where I'll give you my verdict. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me back at Sheffield, outside Sheffield Cathedral. Now, the one thing that I've noticed, I've just had a look at these Pride of Yorkshire, and look at this. This looks beautiful. And then there's another little line over here as well. We've got a few of them. That one's been taken down, I don't know why, but I just thought I'd have a quick look around here just to show you the lines. So this is this one. If I could just zoom it out enough. There we go, there's another one. I think those two are mountain lions. That one definitely looks like a mountain lion. That one's just a lion. You were once wild here. Well, I'm still a bit wild, particularly when it comes to making content for Daren's Corner. But look at this. I mean, isn't that beautiful? That's just absolutely beautiful. So let's go back to the tram stop. We've got a black route due in about 10 minutes. And what I do want to talk about while I'm here is giving you my verdict as to which is my most favourite of the 4 X-buses that were covered in today's video. Well, it had to be the X6, because I was taken by surprise when it served the service station. First time I've ever been to a service station on just a regular bus. You'd expect it on a coach, and I would expect it on a coach, because it has happened a few times where a coach has stopped in a park and ride. But you wouldn't expect a normal bus to call at a service station. And that was the bit that ultimately swayed my decision to go for the X6, even if they are every 4 hours. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.